The BFR had a small delta wing at the rear end of the ship, and Musk also announced in 2017 the concept of Earth-to-Earth rocket transportation for humans, which was teased the year before. In September of 2018, Elon Musk announced details on a private flight around the moon for a private passenger and showed a redesigned concept for the BFR with 3 rear fins and 2 canard fins at the nose. All 3 rear fins were to be used as landing legs, with the dorsal fin being fixed and the 2 belly fins having the ability to actuate, giving the spacecraft aerodynamic control. By the end of 2018 and beginning of 2019, Musk had announced some shocking design changes and a new name that would finally stick: Starship. A number of people have objected to this name because the vehicle won't have what would be a ludicrous capability to visit other stars, but Elon did rebut, saying that future versions will. The design was changed to what we know it as now: stainless steel construction and only 2 rear fins that Elon has referred to as body flaps, plus separate landing legs. Stainless steel is stronger than other materials when subjected to the extreme temperatures of spaceflight, not to mention it's much cheaper and quicker to manufacture than other more frequently used spacecraft materials. Through 2019 and 2020, SpaceX has been experimenting with manufacturing actual prototype Starship vehicles, starting with the Starhopper in 2019, which flew test flights under the power of a single sea-level Raptor engine. When Starhopper touched down gently after a 150-meter or 490-foot high flight that traveled 100 meters away from the launch pad, it was a truly profound moment in the SpaceX revolution because landing for reusability is the key to the future of spaceflight. There have been many prototypes since Starhopper, but none of them flew until SpaceX reached serial number 5. Serial number 5 and 6 both had successful 150-meter hops and landings in August and September of 2020. On the day I'm publishing this video, we're currently waiting for the next flight-ready prototype to make a historic high-altitude flight attempt. Serial number 8 is planned to fly higher than airliners do up into the sky and fall like a skydiver into a soft, propulsive landing. Now let's talk about how the system works, because we haven't yet mentioned the booster and the whole refueling in orbit thing, which is a crucial part of the Starship concept. You see, to get into space, the Starship will be lifted up by a booster called Super Heavy. But Super Heavy alone won't be able to accelerate a fully loaded Starship all the way to orbital speeds. Once the Super Heavy booster burns through all of its primary mission propellant, it will separate, turn around, and use its remaining propellant reserves to boost back and land so that it can be refilled for the next flight. Rapid reusability is the future, and SpaceX has already proven they can do a boost-back return-to-launch site operation with the Falcon 9. How amazing is this? Just like the second stage of the Falcon 9, the Starship will need to use its vacuum-optimized Raptor engines to achieve orbital speed. The sea-level Raptor engines will have smaller engine bells, more suited for use under the pressure of a planet's atmosphere, while the vacuum-optimized engines are shaped to allow the rocket exhaust to expand in the most efficient way for traveling through the vacuum of space. The Starship will have to burn most of its own propellant to achieve the orbital speeds required by the Earth's very strong gravity. A Starship that doesn't get refueled in space will still have the capability to complete missions with very light payloads or that have closer, easier-to-get-to destination orbits. But to get out away from low Earth orbit, to the Moon or to Mars for example, the Starship will need to be refueled in orbit. Don't miss my Flight Path to Mars video for more on this. There will be at least 4 versions of the Starship: the tanker Starship for refueling, the passenger Starship with windows, the cargo Starship with alligator mouth, the lunar lander Starship that has no wings because it won't need to land on Earth or any planet with atmosphere, and I have a good feeling SpaceX might make a specialized Mars version of the Starship as well. Here's a render I made that shows the cargo version next to the passenger version with a Cybertruck driving by to give you a sense of scale as you look at these fully reusable, giant-sized spacecraft. According to Elon Musk, reusability is crucial for spaceflight. Big launches that, without reusability, would cost hundreds of millions of dollars might now cost as low as just $2 million. $2 million total to launch many tons worth of payload into space. These numbers in the millions might not mean much to most people, but the implications of a system like this are truly mind-blowing. Even if it doesn't go as low as Elon's predicted $2 million per launch, the SpaceX Starship's reusability will still drop space costs so drastically that everyday people like you and I might be able to afford to put a small item into space if we wanted to. Here's Neopork's concept render of 400 Starlink satellites being launched at a time. SpaceX's planned Earth-to-Earth transportation is the cherry on top. If everything works as planned, people will be traveling from one side of the planet to the other in less than an hour. That's like your airline flight experience going from dial-up to broadband. But even if the Earth-to-Earth space transportation doesn't become widely adopted, the Starship will still be revolutionary, not just for spaceflight, but its effects will ripple out into other industries. It will enable previously unfathomable science and technology to be realized, in addition to supporting human exploration of our solar system. Since the founding of NASA in 1958, spaceflight-related innovation has had a profound effect on modern society. Just like when the advent of cheap plastic affected almost every industry, the SpaceX revolution with the Starship as its workhorse is going to move humanity forward and help us become a spacefaring civilization.
Look how giant that is. And that's just one section.